Greetings, brothers and sisters. Today is the 18th Sunday in Ordinary Time. And our readings today invite us to work with a certain dimension of pastoral reality, pastoral experience, pastoral reflection. And there is a statement that we usually find in pastoral work or pastoral theology, which says, see, judge, and act. It is an invitation to be observant, firstly, to give right judgment as to how we act in this particular circumstance. And then after this judgment, we act in a way that is proper to the circumstance of that time. This is what we find in the gospel reading of the day. The Lord listens to his disciples who come to him, who have noticed that things are going on. The people who have come to listen to him, the people who have come into his vicinity, are also in the desert. There is no food, there is no sustenance, there is no water. And in all of this, the Lord now says, instead of chasing the disciples away or chasing these people away, he gives them an instruction that seems very impractical at this moment in time. You give them something to eat. They bring this argument later that we only have 5 loaves and 2 fish. This is not enough for these particular people. But the challenge that the Lord gives us is not only in the idea of the 5 loaves and 2 fish. It is firstly to be able to look at the circumstance that is happening. Where are we in the now? What is happening in the situation, circumstances that surround us? Are we blind to what is going on? And this invites us right now as we speak into it, how our own family situation, our church situation, our relationships tend to be one sided. We look at how we feel, how we have been treated, how we as individuals are being deprived of certain circumstances. For example, if you look at how in families at times, it is always from our point of view. My spouse no longer loves me, my children no longer pay attention, my parents not notice the circumstance of what I'm going through. We look at it from the point of view of how they are failing to deal with me, instead of the other way around, which Jesus comes with in this particular moment. He invites his disciples to look at the people who are there and how they can deal with it. The opposite direction would be, for example, while we are complaining about our spouse, our children, the people around us, do we also not forget that we can also invite ourselves to look at the opposite direction? How are they faring in life? They may be depriving me of something, but what are they going through that has brought them to this moment in time? How many times have we seen these videos online where husbands or wives tend to cry in silence or in isolation, and they pretend to be strong when they come into the presence of their loved ones? How parents try their own means, depriving themselves of what life could give because they're trying to give their children a life to live well. All of these situations are going on around us, but we're ignorant and blind to what is going on. The Lord invites us to see, then judge. And the action that comes after can be found in what Isaiah says. Come to me, all you who thirst, and I'll give you drink. Come, come to me, and your souls will live. The church, individuals of the church particularly, are an extension of God's presence. And in all of this, when the Lord now says, come to me, he does not only speak about this from the point of view of us coming to the Eucharist, it's also everyone else around us coming to us as members of his body. It is through us that he finds a way to touch these individual relationships, these individual families, these individual spaces, these individual circumstances, and allow them to find God who, as St. Paul says, nothing can separate us from the love of God. We are a means by which the world comes to the face of God. That the world around us can come to a realization that God truly is love, is mercy, is presence. And when the Lord says, you give them something to eat, He challenges us also as individuals to look at what we can present. We might not be the World Bank, we might not be Donald Trump, we might not be the rich and famous in Zimbabwe who have money to spoil and to throw around. But what do we have? Firstly, listening. To be able to sit down with our people, our family, our spouse, whoever is in need, and actually take time to listen, to be there, to be present, to hear what they have to say. Secondly, to notice. We are around these people every day. We see the changes that are happening around them. It is up to us to notice the challenges that are going on in the families where we are before the rest of the world does. How many times have we noticed that There are people who are outside this family setup who know more, who know more about our beloved, our children, our parents than we do. This is the challenge that we have to be able to notice what is going on. And then, thirdly, to provide. And providence does not necessarily mean materially. This is why the prayer of St. Francis is very powerful for us. Where there is despair, let me bring hope. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. To those who are in need, let me find something to encourage. It brings us an opportunity to look beyond the material. How can I love this person more? How can I help them to heal? How can I help them feel God's presence? What am I bringing to the table? And today, I would like us to invite ourselves to look at the circumstances around us in our own families, in our parishes, in our relationships, in our situations where we are financially, politically, economically, all socially, all of this put together, even health in general. There are people who need God's guidance, this God's peace, God's forgiveness, God's love, and it is through us that God touches these individual lives. May we, as we journey through this week, also allow ourselves to touch the lives of the people we care about. It is not simply about praying for them. It is not simply about going to church with them. It is not simply about trying to convert them, but touching these everyday situations in a way that allows God's presence to be felt. And the challenge goes on today with all of you. It is up to you to give them something. God bless you.